Hello everyone, welcome back. We're shooting that 500 Smith & Wesson today. I am shooting basically reloads. These are 500 Special. Okay, basically I've powered these down. I'm trying to get this so that it's a little bit more manageable. Basically when you shoot full-size 500s, it feels like you're getting hit in the hand with a hammer. I did this earlier with 13 grains of unique over a 440 grain bullet. It still felt like I was getting hit in the hand pretty hard, which, I mean, you know, sometimes you want to do that. Sometimes you just, you don't want something to hit you that hard. So basically, what I did is I have 10 grains of unique now. Okay, so I've powered it down to 10 grains of unique over under a 440 grain bullet. This is the same amount of gunpowder that I use when I reload 44 Magnum. However, with the 44 Magnum, we're shooting a 240 grain bullet. This is 440, so it's like almost double in weight. So I have a rim set up there and a chronograph. Let's put 5 shots downrange of this big boy, and let's see, what type of energy we get out of this. You want to be about 10 feet back so that the muzzle doesn't interfere with your chronograph readings, the muzzle blast, I mean. There goes my rim. See if we can shoot it on the move. Okay, those are our 5 shots. The recoil is about where I want it. Okay, it's stout, but kind of feels like a 44 Magnum. So that's about where I want it. So that's probably where I'm gonna, I'll probably make about 50 rounds now of this recipe for the 500. So that's 10 grains of unique. Under a 440 grain bullet. Hey, let me pause the camera. I'll bring you guys in a little closer. Okay, so basically we made a nice dent on the rim over here. No penetration. Usually, if I shoot the full 500 loads, I'll get easy penetration on that. Let's see what the chronograph told us. 787. Unique. So we got 787 to 7. We'll call it 9. We'll call it 800. And an average of 793. So with the 440 grain bullet, we have an average velocity of 793. Let's see what energy that is. 793 times 793 times 440 divided by 452.40. Okay, so we have an energy of 614. All right, and let's do a momentum calculation. 793 times 440 divided by 7,000. Okay, we got a momentum of basically 50. Okay, so this recoil felt pretty good. Basically the energy on this is basically at the mid-level of a 44 Magnum. The reason why I needed to get something, I wanted to get something that was a more manageable recoil because, I want to be able to, for example, I want to check my zero on this. Okay, this gun has adjustable sights. I want to be able to, basically, sit down, bench the gun, and comfortably, do 5 shot groups and see if I need to adjust my sights at all. Okay, so you're not going to do that if you're shooting, you know, full 500 loads, because basically the gun is like feeling the recoil all the way up your arms and into your palm of your hand. So it's very useful to also be able to power down these loads, so you can do some accuracy testing and basically, you know, adjust your sights as you need to. Okay, so what we have here that works pretty good is a 440 grain bullet, which I've cast myself, over 10 grains of unique. The unique is an awesome powder because it's very versatile. You're not going to get a printed recipe for the 500. Basically, I've worked this up from the 44 Magnum loads. Okay. As far as these bullets, basically you buy one of these things, you melt the lead, pour it in. You know, basically you drop this into a wet towel. Okay, that's how I make these bullets. And then what you want to do is basically you need to run these through a die to resize them, because these are not all going to come out the perfect diameter. You know, when I tried to, before I got the die to run these through, what happened is when I would try to put them in these cases, they were a little bit too big, and basically they would swell up over the case would swell up over the bullet, and it would not go into the chambers. So something was wrong. I researched it and I found that, okay, I got to resize these bullets. And the other thing that you need to do is once the bullet goes in, for this caliber, you also need to get the crimp. I usually don't need to use a crimp for like my 44 Magnums, my 357s, my 38s. You know, the seating die usually acts as a good crimp as well. But for this, I found that they really weren't fitting into the chambers. But once I used the crimping die that's recommended, basically they're all going in real nice. So it takes a little work. Hopefully the tips that I'm giving you guys, you know, if you're interested in reloading 500 specials, will help you get there. So that's what we have here. We have 10 grains of unique with a 440 grain bullet. If you're using the factory bullets, I think it's 385 grain bullets. Usually I load, the last time I loaded those with 15 grains, and those came out pretty good, not too heavy. You could certainly bring that back to about, you know, bring it down to, let's say, 12 grains of unique, and that will work fine, and you can use that to, you know, basically adjust the sights on the gun and zero it in and make sure that you're hitting where you want to hit. So there are my thoughts on that. And if you have any comments, please post them. Any feedback, I'd love to hear from you guys. If not a member, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys next time.